Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Carefully, if we design and execute any application without using client-server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called as a standalone application. That application is called as what? Standalone application. That's it. That means without using client-server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, if we prepare any application, then that application is called as what there? Standalone application. All right, yes, that's okay, fine. How many types of standalone applications are available? Now you only tell me. There are two types of standalone applications. There are two types of standalone applications. What are the two types of standalone applications we are having there? First one is CUI applications, and the second one is what there? GUI applications. Not required to write anything. I will share these total documents to you. So through Google Drive, Google Classroom app, I will share these documents to you. How to get these documents, and I will show clearly. Don't worry for it. For the sake of your class, I will share that Google Classroom app. I will share to you how to use that. But just put more concentration what I'm going to be explaining now. Right. So there are two types of applications in a standalone: CUI applications, and second one is what? GUI applications. Character user interface applications and graphical user interface applications. Clear? All of you are getting clarity now? That's okay, fine. Let us understand this point clearly. All of you observe this point clearly. What exactly the difference between CUI application and GUI application? At fresher level, this is one of the important interview question. At fresher level, interviewers will ask this question there. What is the difference between CUI applications and GUI applications? All right. Anyway, we have to understand this content clearly. I'll explain this total part here. Try to put more concentration. For example, I will take one program, one small program I want to take. What is that program here I want to take there? My program name is add.java. My program name is like what there? Add.java. It will take two input data as an input, two input data as like integers as a two input data. It will perform some addition operation. It will display the result of that addition operation. That is the intention of this program. Tell me guys, then if you want to compile and execute this program, then what we have to do? First we have to take command prompt or not. This would be like what their command prompt. This is command prompt. Inside this command prompt, first we have to compile the program. Go to the location where we are compiling, where we are saved this program. That is, for example, d:/apps is the location I've taken. I saved it there only. So now I want to use Java C space add.java. Of course, if we use IDE, compilation is not required like this. Execution is also not required. But for our understanding purpose, I'm talking about like what compilation and execution like this. Java C space add.java compiled successfully. Then after that, d:/apps Java space add. But we provided Java space add. When I click on enter button, immediately program is asking. What program is asking actually? First value. It is asking about like what now? First value from the user. By seeing this information, what user has to do? User has to enter that first value or not. So for example, 10 is entered. 10 is a value entered. First value we entered there. That's okay, fine. Next one is immediately after entering the 10 value, if we click on enter button, there second value. There it is asking about like what value there? No, second value. When we enter that, when it is asking second value, there we have to provide 20 as a value, second value. Then I'll click on enter button. When I click on enter button, then here it will provide addition colon Here it will provide like which output? No, 30 as an output it is providing. This is going to be happen when I compile and execute this program. Guys, now you only tell me in this case, no, in this case, what is input and what is output here in this particular scenario? Input is like what there? 10. 10 is an input. Nice. 20 is what? Input or output? No. Input. 20 is an input. Then what is that output actually? Output is what there? 30 is an output. 30 is what? Is an output. Please recognize this. 30 is an output. So, input we provided here, 2 values, and output we are getting. Now tell me, we provided input on command prompt or not? We provided output on the same, we are getting output on the same command prompt or not? Now here, what is the point here I'm telling there? Here user is existed. This is user is existed here. Okay. Now this user is executing that program through the command prompt, and user is interacting with the program through the command prompt by providing input data and command prompt, and user is getting output data from the program through the command prompt only. Now this is what their user. Observe carefully, guys. All of you understand this? No. Between user and program, which one is existed? No. Between user and program. This is program actually. This is program. Their user is existed. Between these two, which one is existed again? Command prompt is existed or not? So we can understand this command prompt is user interface. Is an interface through which user can interact with the program. It is an interface through which programmer can interact with the program. Answer my point here. So this is called as what? An user interface. Now tell me, this user interface is supporting which type of data? This user interface is supporting which type of data? Character data, not supporting graphics data, where no graphical representation is available. Only the data, maybe numbers or maybe values, ABCDs and everything will be provided in the form of character orientation. The total data is as per like what? No, character oriented data. So this user interface is called as character user interface. This user interface is called as character user interface. On the base of this user interface only we are preparing this application. So this application is called as a CUI application, character user interface application. So on the base of this character user interface only we prepared this application. So this application is called as like what there? Character user interface. This application is called as what? No, character user interface application. That's it, not more than this. So now everybody has to understand this point clearly. What exactly the meaning of CUI application? That's my question, guys. Again, I'm telling there, my intention is not to discuss about the standalone applications. My intention is to discuss about like what their enterprise applications. For enterprise application development only, we are using frameworks. So as part of that, first we need to understand what is the meaning of enterprise application. Before this enterprise application, the basic part we have to cover, that is what? Standalone application. One type of standalone application is what? No, CUI application. What exactly the meaning of CUI application? What we can understand about the CUI applications, that point here we have to understand there. So now it is very clear that what is that CUI application now? Now understand this definition here. CUI application is a standalone application. It will be designed in such a way that to take input data from the users through command prompt and to provide output data to the users through the same command prompt, where command prompt is acting as an user interface, and it is supporting which type of data? It is supporting character data. It is supporting what data? Characters data. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of like what? No, CUI application. Observe this definition clearly. CUI application is a standalone application. It will be designed in such a way that to take input data from the users through the command prompt and to provide output data to the users through the same command prompt. So where command prompt is acting as an user interface and it is supporting only characters data. So on the base of this character user interface, if you prepare any application, then that application is called as what? Character user interface application, CUI application. Up to this, all of you are getting clarity? Please guys, everybody respond for me. All of you are getting clarity up to now? Any doubt about it? Right, very simple. Guys, in online also, you have to respond for me. All of you are getting clarity up to now? Then whatever the definition you are given there, everybody has to respond for my questions. That's okay, fine. Next one is, what is the GUI application? Graphical user interface application. What exactly the meaning of GUI applications? Okay. Don't take any content here. I will share this document. Moreover, I will give that printed copy also. That everything is existed here, but try to understand what I'm telling you now. What is GUI application, guys? Listen, all of you listen. Not required to take any information. Just listen what I'm telling you now. Even I'm not going to dictate the content also in the future. Why? Because the time may not be sufficient for our total explanation part. Where if I type the content, no, it may take a lot of time. But let me explain the total content. Right, observe carefully. What is GUI application? Say, for example, I prepared one program here, one application I prepared. Its name is add.java. Same, its name is what? Add.java. Now, whenever we prepare this add.java, we have to compile this program or not? Definitely, we have to compile this program there. Okay. Here we need to take, for compilation of the program, what we have to take? No, there we have to take command prompt. Here we have to take what there? Command prompt. Inside this command prompt, here we have to take d:/apps location. There only I saved this program. There I have to use javac command, javac space add.java. We compiled successfully this program. There we are not having any compilation error. That's okay, fine. Now I want to execute this program there. d:/apps. d:/apps. There we have to provide java space add. We have to provide. That is the main class name. I provide it. When we provide this name, immediately a window will be created. Immediately a window will be created. Inside this window, title bar is existed. At right side topmost corner, 3 buttons are going to be existed. Right, sir. What are the 3 buttons? Minimize button, and the next one is like what their maximize button, and last one is like what their close option. 3 buttons are going to be existed here. Minimize, maximize, and close. Okay, fine. Whenever we are getting this window, there immediately we are getting first value. There we are getting a text field. Similarly, second value, there we are getting what? Again, another text field. Then after that, here we are getting like what the result field, but no text field there. Simply result. We are getting there. Nothing is existed here, but after evaluating this program, we will get some results. Next one is here we have a button like what there? Add button. Button like what? Add button. Okay, fine. Here we can observe carefully. Now, here we have user. This is user. Now you only tell me what this user is able to do. Whenever he is executing that program, by default, automatically he got this particular window where first value, second value, and add button is available. As per the common sense, by seeing this is the first value, by seeing first value, here we are going to enter the first value or not. Say for example, I will enter 10 is the first value. Okay, now second value is exist or not. Now by seeing that we can enter the second value. Then after that, as per our common sense, we have to click on which button there, no? Add button we have to click. When you click on add button, then remaining part of the program will be executed. Program will take 10 or 20 from the text fields. It will perform addition operation internally, and the result value will be displayed on the result field. Then what is the result value here? 30 we are getting. So finish, my program is completed. Now tell me, here only we have to tell me, here only we have to give the information, what is input and what is output here in this case, no? 10 is what? Input. And 20 is what? Is also be input. But what is this 30 actually? 30 is what? Output. 10 is input, 20 is an input, and 30 is what? Output. Get my point or not? Okay, clear. Now observe carefully between user and program, between .java file and user, what is existed actually? What is existed here? No, that means this window is existed or not? Between user and program, this window is existed or not? Now this window is acting as an user interface. This window is acting as an interface through which user can communicate with the program. Through which user can communicate with the program. So this is called as user interface. This user interface is supporting graphics data or not? The data through the graphic components. Now this user interface is supporting graphics data or not? That's why this user interface is called as graphical user interface. On the basis of this graphical user interface, we prepared this Java program. So the Java program is called as what? GUI, graphical user interface application. What exactly the meaning of graphical user interface application? It is a standalone application. It would be designed in such a way. It would be designed in such a way that to provide input to data or to take input data from the user through the collection of graphic components, and to provide output data to the user through the same collection of graphic components, where the collection of graphic components is acting as an user interface, and it is supporting graphics data, and it is supporting what there? Graphics data. So this is what exactly the meaning of like what there. What is the meaning of like what? No, GUI applications clearly. Now tell me guys, what is this GUI application actually? Now tell me, what is the definition for this GUI application? GUI application is a standalone application, comma, it will be designed in such a way that to take input data from the users through the collection of graphics components, and to provide output data to the users through the same collection of graphics components, where the collection of graphics components is acting as an user interface, and it is supporting which type of data? Graphics data. And it is supporting which type of data? Graphics data. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of like what? No, GUI application. Nothing, sir. Very simple. Both are standalone application only. Of course, in distributed application also, to prepare client programs, you may use either of this. But I'm not thinking about it. Only up to this particular part is nothing but what? Standalone application only. Right, sir. So standalone application is an application. It will be designed and executed without using client server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines. Then that application is called as what? Standalone application. But how many types of standalone applications are available? 2 types of standalone applications are existed. What are the 2 types of standalone applications? No, CUI application, and second one is what? No, GUI application. What is CUI application and what is GUI application? No, CUI application is a standalone application. It will be designed in such a way that to take input data from the users through the command prompt and to provide output data to the users through the same command prompt, where command prompt is acting as an user interface and it is supporting characters data. Right, sir? Now, what is GUI application? GUI is a standalone application. It will be designed in such a way that to take input data from the users through the command prompt, through the collection of graphic components, and to provide output data to the users through the same collection of graphic components, where the collection of graphic components is acting as an user interface and it is supporting graphics data. Guys, clear up to this part here? Right. Next one is, now tell me, what is that second type of applications here? Now tell me. By using Java, we are able to prepare two types of applications or not? Standalone applications. Another one is what now? Right. Distributed applications or enterprise application. Now here, let us understand enterprise application. Let us understand like what now? Enterprise application. Or distributed application. Both are same at present now. Distributed application. Huh. Tell me, what is this enterprise application or what is this distributed application actually? You know already, quite opposite of standalone application. Standalone application is what? If you design and execute any application without using client server architecture, without distributing application logic over multiple missions. This is a point here. Now here, what I'm telling to you, if you design and execute any application on the basis of client server architecture, if you design and execute any application on the basis of client server architecture, or by distributing application logic over multiple missions, then that application is called as what? Like a distributed application or enterprise application. Let me have some information here. If you design and execute any application on the basis of client server architecture, or by distributing application logic over multiple missions, then that application is called as enterprise application or distributed application. That's okay, fine. And now tell me, how many types of enterprise applications are available? As you know, two types of enterprise applications are available. There are two types of enterprise. Applications. There are two types of enterprise applications. Now tell me, guys. Now here, what are the two types of enterprise applications? Now, observe carefully in this diagram here. I said to you, two types of terminologies are given. If we use the terminology enterprise application, two types are what? Web applications and distributed applications. If we take the terminology like distributed applications, no, what exactly the terminology is here? Web-based distributed applications and remote-based distributed applications. But understand it, I want to take the first terminology for our easiness. For our easiness purpose, I want to use first one. But anyway, you can map either of the thing. We can use either of the thing. Both are right. In this context, for our better understanding purpose, I want to go for web applications and distributed applications. Distributed application, in my point of view, is what? Remote-based distributed application. Web application, my point of view, is what? Web-based distributed application. Observe carefully. So now here, I want to say two types of distributed enterprise applications. No, first one is like what there? Like we can understand the first one is web applications, I want to say. And second one is like what there? Distributed applications. Next, this is very, very important interview question, even for freshers and maybe 1 or 2 years of experience people also. This question might be raised there. What exactly the question here? What are the differences between web application and distributed application? What exactly the differences between web applications and distributed applications? Everybody must understand this question clearly. So here only we are going to talk about frameworks. What is the requirement to go for frameworks? From this particular point onwards, we are going to understand that. See, once again, I'm telling to you, our introduction classes are very, very important. See, in outside also, how people are existed there without having awareness on frameworks, without knowing the requirement of the frameworks, without understanding the purpose of the framework, people are trying to learn the total frameworks. But when we come for the question, what is the need of the framework? No, they're not having any answer, but they're very good in Spring framework. They're very good in Hibernate. They're very good in other technologies. But what is the need of these frameworks in the sense they're not having any answer. So that we have to understand in the introduction part. After understanding the requirement of the framework and advantages of the framework, then we'll move forward. That is Spring framework. Why we need Spring framework? Right, sir. Now let us understand this. As part of that particular point, first we have to understand what are the various differences between web application and distributed application. In other words, web-based distributed application and a remote-based distributed application. Right, I'll give some diagrams to you. Now try to understand this diagram here, all of you know. First of all, we are going to understand web-based distributed application. Everybody put more concentration here. Web-based distributed application. Right, sir. Observe carefully. What exactly the web-based distributed application? Basically, both are client-server applications or not? Web-based web application or distributed application, both are client-server applications or not? You have to answer for my questions now. Both are client-server application only. Where definitely client-server architecture is going on or not? Definitely, client-server architecture must be existed. Observe carefully. This is client mission. This is a client. This is like what their server mission. Two computers here I have taken. This is what client mission. The mission which manages client. The mission which has a client. That is called as what? Client mission. Okay, if you want to say it's a computer, we can understand. This is client mission. Next one is the mission which has the server. The mission which has the server, that is called as what? No? Server mission. That means server computer. Server mission. You can say this is like what there? A computer. Right, sir. Between client and server, network is required or not? Between client and server, network is required or not? Right, sir. Definitely, this is what? No, network. Network is required. Internet. Network is required. Network is not sufficient. Where protocol is required or not? Definitely, what we require there? Protocol is required. To send a request to the server from client, to get a response from server to the client, definitely some communication channel is required over the network. That is what they know, protocol. Number of protocols are available. HTTP protocol is available. Like TCP protocol or UDP protocol, a number of protocols are existed. But all are working on the base of the network or not? Maybe LAN or WAN or whatever it may be. On the base of the network only that protocols are running, where data is going to be exchanged from one machine to another machine. Okay, fine. This is a setup now. Now, I want to say this is a client mission. Client mission must have client or not? Come on, guys. You have to answer for it. Client mission must have client or not? Okay. What is client? I will discuss with you later on. Wait for it. Next one is this. I am saying server mission. This I am saying server mission. Server mission in the sense definitely where server must be existed or not. In a server mission, server must be existed or not. What is that server actually? That server is a separate software. Server is what? No, a special software. We can understand this is a server software. This is what? A server software. This is what? A server software where server is existed. Observe carefully. This is server software. Okay. Server software is installed in this mission. That's why this mission is called as what? No, server mission. Observe carefully. In the case of web applications, the complete application logic will provided. The complete application logic will be provided at the server mission. The complete application logic will be provided at which mission? There no server mission. No application logic is available at a client mission. The total application is existed at a server mission. So it is called as web application. That application is called as what? Web application. As a separate application, the total program is existed at a server mission only. The total program is existed at a server mission only. So this application is called as what? Web application. Okay. At a server mission, two components are ready. One is the server software is ready. Second one is what? Then web application is ready. Okay, good, nice. But what is this client mission? Client mission must have a client or not? Client mission must have a client or not? Now you only tell me, in the case of this client mission must have a client in the sense, what is client actually? What is client actually in the client mission? In the case of web applications, client is not any other one. That is called as a browser. That is called as what? No, a browser. This is called as what? No, browser. So this browser is acting as like what? No, a client. Browser is acting as what? Client in the case of web applications. Now tell me. Now 2 points here we are getting, guys. What are the 2 points here we are getting there? Observe carefully. First, in the case of web application site, what we are telling here? Observe carefully. Web application site. Right. What we are getting the points here? First point is like what there? First point is like what there? Web application is a client server application. Now tell me where the complete application logic will be provided at which mission there? Now tell me, will be provided at a server mission. Will be provided at a server mission. No application logic is existed at a client mission. Am I right or not? That means my point is what? No Java code is existed at a client mission. The total application logic will be provided at which mission then? No, server mission. That's okay. This is 1 point. Okay. Observe carefully. Similarly, I want to prepare a distributed application. Similarly, I want to prepare what? No, distributed application. Just observe this carefully now. How this distributed application is available there? Distributed application in the sense like what? The remote mission, remote application there now. So for example, I want to say asterisk. This is like what there? My local mission. Here the technology is somewhat different. This is my local mission and this is my remote mission. Okay, it's almost equal to like what? No, client mission and server mission only. But I need to use the name is like what? No, local mission and this is like what? The remote mission. Now tell me, between local mission and remote mission again, we need some network or not? Why? Because in the distributed applications, we have to transfer the data. We have to transfer the data from local mission to remote mission and remote mission to local mission. It is a frequent requirement. Maybe in the form of request or maybe in the form of response or maybe in the form of providing service or maybe in the form of consuming that service. I'll give the terminology. Don't worry for it. Now between these two also, we require what? Definitely we require network. This is like what? Their network. This is like what? Their network. Network we provided. Between these two missions, along with the network, protocol is required or not? Protocol is required here. Now this is like what? Their protocol. Observe carefully. Now, in the case of distributed applications, the total application logic will be distributed over both local mission and the remote mission. The total application logic will be distributed over both local mission and the remote mission. We can understand this clearly. At the local mission, application logic is available and this is remote mission. Okay. Now this application is called as like what? There local application and this application is called as like what? There remote application. Remote application and local application both are existed. Observe carefully. Of course, here also we need some server mission. Here also we need some server, or maybe instead of saying server, in some other technologies you can say it's a skeleton. Stub and skeletons are required. Stub is existed at the local mission. Skeleton is existed at server mission. Instead of saying skeleton, I would like to say like what? There server software. Here also we require some server. Here also we require what? There some server. Why? Because these distributed applications are also be like what? There distributed applications are also be like server side applications, client server applications. No, so there also be one server side software is existed here. Now tell me here, what is client and what is server in the case of distributed applications? No, right? Of course, the total Java application is distributed over local mission as well as like what? No, remote mission. Now here also this is like what? There a local mission we can understand. Local application. That local application contains Java code. It's not a browser. If it is browser, it's okay. Then we can understand it now. It's a tool to submit request and to get response. But now it is what? There Java application. Now tell me, in the case of remote based applications, application logic is distributed over multiple missions or not? Application logic is distributed over local mission and remote mission or not? So this is exactly the called as like what? No, like a distributed application. Now let me list out that what is a distributed application actually. Right, sir. Distributed application is a client server application. Distributed application is a client server application where the complete application logic will be provided, where the complete application logic will be provided in the form of, where the complete application logic will be provided at both local mission and a remote mission. That's the case. Now, this is a point here I'm telling them. Point number one, I'm giving them. So just have given what is distributed application and what is web application. Now you only tell me, in the case of web applications, what is client? In the case of web applications, what is client? Come on, you have to give answer for my question. What is client? Browser. Am I right or not? In the case of web application, this is web application I'm telling there. This is web application architecture. In the case of web applications, what is client? No, client is a browser. Same point here we have to highlight. In web applications, client is a browser, not any Java program, not any Java application. Now tell me, but in the case of distributed applications, what is client? No, distributed applications, client may be a J2SE application, core Java application with main method, maybe a normal Java application with the main method, comma, not only this Java application, maybe an applet and a GUI part. Applet it may be an applet, or maybe it may be a servlet, a server-side program also, maybe a servlet, or maybe a JSP page, or maybe a framework application like struts JSF, or maybe like what there apart from the struts JSF and a Spring application. Anything, it may be anything. All of you get my point or not? In the case of web applications, client is fixed. In the case of web applications, client is fixed. That is browser. But in the case of distributed applications, client is not fixed. It may be a normal core Java program. It may be a normal core Java program with main method, or maybe an applet, or maybe a servlet, or maybe a JSP base, or maybe framework applications like starts to JSF and Spring applications, anything. I will show some examples also, don't worry for it. I'll take one real-time example. Through that I'll explain where that web application is existed and where the distributed application is existed. But meanwhile, we have to understand the content here. What basic information of this? I will take one real-world example. There I will explain to you clearly how distributed applications are going on, how web applications are going on there. Sir, all of you are getting clarity or not? All right, sir. Next one is after completion of this. Now the third one here. Then which technologies we are going to use to prepare web applications and which technologies we are going to use to prepare distributed applications. If you observe this clearly, listen, all of you know, to prepare web applications, we will use a set of technologies. We will use a set of technologies called as web technologies. Guys, observe carefully web technologies. What are the examples for these web technologies? Actually, you can understand is CGI, Common Gateway Interface is also a technology, CGI. Next one is like what? No, servlets. Next one is like what? No, JSPs, and so on and so on and so on. All these things are like what? No, web technologies. Understand my point? No, user interface technologies are available, HTML, CSS, and so on. They are like what? No, user interface technologies, UI technologies. Understand my point? No, but web technologies I'm asking there. For web application development, what we are using there, PHP maybe, CGI maybe, servlets maybe, JS maybe, all these are server-side technologies only, but web technologies now. ASP.NET, in the case of .NET maybe, all these things are like what they're web technologies. Similarly, what I'm telling there, what exactly the distributed technologies, observe carefully, to prepare distributed applications. Which type of application? To prepare distributed applications, we will use a set of technologies. A set of technologies, uh, a set of technologies called as distributed technologies. Distributed technologies. What are these distributed technologies actually? What are the examples for these distributed technologies? No, observe carefully. Socket programming. In core Java itself, the topic is available. Networking topic is available. Just exchanging the data from one machine to another machine through the socket programming. After the socket programming, the next one is like what there? RMI. Remote method invocation. RMI. Apart from this RMI, next one is like what there? CORBA. Common Object Request Broker Architecture. Next one is after that, EJBs. Enterprise Java Beans. Previously, it has very good demand. The total Java J2EE is getting this much of demand because of EJBs only previously. But nowadays, it is an outdated. It was outdated nowadays. Next one, web services. Web service is one of the pure distributed technology. The name web services is having web is a name. Don't think it's a web technology. It's purely what? Distributed technologies. Right, sir. And so on, so many. Some other things are also existed here now. These are like what there. Web applications, that means web technologies, distributed applications like what there? Distributed technologies. Technology wise is also being differences existed here, we can understand clearly. Guys, all of you are following these points now? No response. Are you following this theoretical content here? Again, I'm telling there why I'm discussing all these concepts. No, only one reason. I need to introduce frameworks. See, frameworks are meant for enterprise applications, not for standalone applications. Of course, you can prepare standalone applications by using frameworks also, but frameworks are meant for what? Enterprise applications. So if you want to discuss about these frameworks now, before that, first we have to understand like what their enterprise applications, web applications and distributed applications we have to understand. After that only we can understand like what? No, frameworks. Say for example, if you ask to me, sir, what is the purpose of Struts framework? If I give the answer, Struts framework will simplify the web application development. If I give that information, how do you can understand without knowing web application? If I ask you, sir, tell me what is the purpose of Spring framework? Spring framework will ease the development of standalone applications and enterprise applications, web applications, distributed applications. If we get this answer, then what we can understand there? That's why first we have to understand the types of applications. Then after that, how we are going to prepare that applications by using framework. This content here we have to understand. Okay. Right, sir. Now, after this, I'm telling next one more point here. Try to observe carefully. Web application and distributed applications. Good. Now tell me first of all, both the applications are server-side applications or not? Web applications and distributed applications both are client-to-server applications or not? That means server has to execute our programs or not? In the case of web applications, server is required. In the case of distributed applications also, server is required. The server has to execute our applications or not? Okay. So definitely we need a server to execute our server-side applications. Right. How many types of servers are available in outside? No, 2 types of servers are existed. What are the 2 types of servers which are existed in outside there? First one is web servers and second one is application servers. Web servers and application servers. Web servers are able to provide environment for web applications execution. Application servers will provide environment for both web applications and as well as what? Distributed applications. Application servers will provide environment for executing both web applications and as well as what? Distributed applications. But web servers are able to execute only which type of applications? No, web applications. Observe carefully what I'm telling you. So here the point is what? Web applications are executed by both web servers and application servers. Am I right or not? Web applications are executed by both web servers and application servers. Please recognize this point here. Web applications are executed by both web servers and application servers. Whereas distributed applications are executed by only application servers, not by web servers. Web servers are not responsible for distributed applications. Web servers are for only web application development. But distributed applications are executed by only application servers. Why? Because distributed applications require some middleware services. That middleware services are not provided by web servers by default, but middleware services are provided by application servers by default. So because of that reason, distributed applications are not executed by web servers. Distributed applications are executed by only application servers. But whereas web applications are executed by both web servers and as well as like what now? Application servers. Okay, this is one point. Next, one more point I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Sir, now tell me, who is executing Java programs? Who is executing Java programs? Isn't that the Java software? Which component is responsible for executing Java software, Java applications? JVM. Obviously, what is that? No, JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Nice. Inside the JVM, who is responsible to execute Java programs? Inside the JVM, who is responsible to execute Java programs? An interpreter. Inside the JVM, which one is available? An interpreter, not JIT compiler. JIT compiler for the sake of improving support, for the sake of improving performance only. But interpreter, inside the JVM, interpreter is existed there. That interpreter is responsible for executing Java applications. Got my point or not? JVM is running our Java programs in the sense, inside the JVM, interpreter will take the responsibility of executing our Java programs. Similarly, server-side programs are executed by server machine only. Server-side programs are executed by server-side programs are executed by server missions only, servers only. Am I right or not? Server-side code will be executed by server only. Am I right or not? But my question is, inside the server, who is responsible to execute server-side program? Application server is execute our program. That's okay. But inside the server, who is responsible to execute our server-side code? If we come for this point, answer is inside the server, container is existed. Inside the server, which one is existed there? Container. Container is responsible to execute our server-side programs. Sir, all of you get my point or not? So maybe web server or application server, whatever it may be, inside there is a component like container. That container is responsible to execute our server-side application. Clear or not? Okay. Next, one more point. Of course, inside the container, collection of JVMs are available. One or more number of JVMs are available. That is a different case. No need to think much about it now. Now tell me, how many types of containers are existed? How many types of containers are existed? So many types are available. Different types are available. 5 or 6 types are available, not required. But I need only 2 types of containers as of now. 2 types of containers. First one is web container. Second one is EAB container. First one is what? Web container. And second one is what now? EAB containers. Are distributed containers. Web container and distributed containers like EAB container. Web container purpose is what there? Web container is responsible to execute only web components like servlets and JSPs only. Web container is responsible to execute only web components like what now? Servlets and JSPs only. But EAB container, a distributed container responsibility is what? It able to execute only the distributed components like what there? Java Bean components which has business logic and EAB components which has some business logic. If you prepare the application by using EAB components, no, EAB container is required. Not only EABs, the Java Bean components which has the application logic that could be evaluated by EAB container. That means in the distributed environment, EAB container is required. It can be used to execute our distributed components. So here the point is like what now? What is the point I'm telling here? Web application is the collection of like web components, like what there, like servlets, like what there, servlets and JSPs. Okay, which are executed by which are executed by servlets and JSPs, no, which are executed by web container. Web containers examples are like what there? Web containers like servlet container and JSP container and so on, whatever it may be. No. But similarly, what is this distributed application now? Distributed application is the collection of Java beans or EJB components, okay, which are executed by a distributed container. Like what is a distributed container? Actually, EJB container. If we use EJB technologies to prepare or to execute applications, no, there we are going to use like what there? EJB container. Container is not any other one. It's a combination of JVMs or one or more number of JVMs as a single part. Then it is specialized for what purpose there? No, server side execution only. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Okay, fine. Let's observe carefully. All of you observe carefully. This is which application architecture? This is which application architecture? Web applications architecture. Am I right or not? Okay. Now inside these web applications, what we are doing, observe carefully. We are submitting requests to the server software. We are submitting requests to the server software through the protocol. Now server software will identify the server side program and it will execute the server side program. After executing the server side program, server software will get some response. Whatever the response which was taken by server software, it will submit that response back to the respective client. Okay. Now observe carefully. All right, sir. For example, if you think add application is available, addition application is available at server machine. If we give 10, 20 as an input data along with the request, no, 30 as an output we are getting. If we give 100, 200 as an input data to the server side application, no, it will provide maybe 300 is a response. If we provide 50, 60 as an input data to the web application, no, it will provide 110 is a response. Now tell me, the response is depending on the input data or not? Now tell me, which type of response we are expecting there? Same response for every request or different responses depending on the input data? Depending on the request data, we are getting response or the same response for every request now? Here the point is what? It is providing response data on the basis of the input parameters or not? If we provide 10, 20, 30, we are able to get. If we provide 20, 30, 50, we are able to get. And 30, 40, 70, we are able to get. So now the response is dynamic or not? The response is a dynamic or not? Okay. Now here the point is like what I'm telling there. What is the next point here I'm telling there? The main purpose of web applications, server side application I'm talking there. The main purpose of web applications is to provide dynamic response, from server, to the client. That's it. That's the main intention of the web application. Web application, if you provide some request, no, server side program will be executed, some response, dynamic response will be generated to the respective client. That's okay, fine. And now tell me, all of you guys, now tell me, this is a distributed application or not? Now tell me, everybody has to understand, this is a distributed application or not? Okay. In this distributed application, assume it, here two things here we have to recognize. What are the two things now? How to establish distributed communication between local machine and remote machine? That is one toughest task for us. Establish the communication between these two. And how to expose remote services to the local machine? How to consume that remote services from the local machine? That means, in the case of this remote-based applications or distributed applications, preparing server-side program is nothing. Easily we can prepare that. But how to establish communication between local machine and remote machine? How to send request data from local machine to the remote machine? And how to execute that server-side program? That means remote motion program. How to send a response data from server to the client? Where along with that application development, along with the remote application development, communication is also be very, very important. How much effective we are establish the communication, that one also we have to recognize. Say for example, web services is available. In web services, first of all, we need to think much about communication. How to establish communication between local machine and remote machine. That remote services are exposed here. How to consume that services? First, we need to have some communication between local machine and remote machine. So here the point is what I'm telling to you. In the case of distributed applications, the main purpose of distributed applications, the main purpose of distributed applications is to establish communication between local mission and the remote mission, in order to get remote services, from remote mission to the respective client mission. That means local mission. That means we are going to think much about it, how to establish communication between local mission and remote mission, and how to get remote services from remote mission to local mission. That's the main concentration here now. Observe carefully. Communication will take most important factor, most important thing in the case of this remote-based web applications, clear. Remote-based distributed applications, clear. This is another point here we have to understand. Okay, fine. Guys, now observe this carefully. Some differences here are given there. What differences here we understood there? Then after that, I will give one very good example for this. Not only what are the differences between web application and distributed application? This is a question. What is the first point here are given there? Web application is a client server application where the complete application logic will be provided at server mission. No application logic is existed at the client mission. Distributed application is a client server application where the complete application logic will be provided both the local mission and the remote mission. In web applications, client is a browser, not any Java application, but in distributed applications, client may be a normal Java application with the main method, or an applet, or a servlet, or JSP page, or a framework applications like Struts, JSF, and Spring application. To prepare web applications, we will use a set of technologies called as web technologies. To prepare distributed applications, we will use a set of technologies called as distributed technologies like what? No, socket programming. Examples are given. Web applications are executed by both web servers and application server, whereas distributed applications are executed by only application servers. Web application is a collection of web components like servlets and JSPs, which are executed by web containers. Distributed application is a collection of Java beans or EJB components, which are executed by the distributed container like EJB container. The main purpose of web applications is to provide dynamic response from server to the client. But the main purpose of distributed application is to establish communication between local mission and remote mission in order to get remote services from remote mission to the respective client mission. That means local mission. That's okay. All the points are okay, fine. We covered there. But now I want to give one more question. One question here I want to give you guys. Now try to understand this clearly. What's that point I'm telling there? If you want to prepare any enterprise application, are these web applications are sufficient? Can I prepare the total enterprise application by using only web applications? Think a minute about it. Is it possible to prepare the total enterprise application by using only web technologies or only web application? Okay. Can I prepare the total enterprise application by using only remote based applications? Only distributed applications? Can I prepare that? No. Right. Answer is what? If we want to prepare an enterprise application, that means complete enterprise application, end-to-end enterprise application, if you want to prepare, then we have to use both web application and distributed application. We have to prepare both. We have to use both web applications and distributed applications in a combined fashion or in an integrated mode, right? In an integrated fashion or mode. That means we have to use both web application and enterprise. That means distributed application in a combined fashion in an integrated mode. Don't worry, I'll give the combination. That means enterprise application is equal to, simply speaking, enterprise application is equal to web application plus what next one again? No, distributed application. Then only a complete enterprise application here we are able to prepare. Okay, don't worry. I will give one example for it. One use case I will provide there. Now just 10 minutes of time, try to understand it clearly. Very good example I will provide to you. All of you observe carefully. For example, simple scenario. I have an account, bank account. I have an account at HDFC, for example. HDFC. Observe carefully. This is like what there, HDFC. Server side application. That means this is what now, HDFC server side application. Okay. Inside one component is existed. This is web component. Okay, fine. This web component is providing services for the clients. Web component is providing services for what their clients. Observe carefully. Now here, this is a browser, normal client, web client. Which client it is? No, browser, web client. This is a browser. In other words, we can say it is what their client. Okay, observe carefully. This is client. Okay, now my requirement is what? Just I want to check balance information. How much balance is available in my account? Just I want to know that. This is myself is existed here. Myself is existed here. We can observe this clearly. This is myself now. What I want to do there, I want to check some amount, some balance amount in my account. Assume the situation here. What I'm telling there, immediately I'll send a request to do my HDFC Bank server side application or not. Maybe it will interact with the database internally on my account, how much amount is available there. It will get the details now. Then immediately it will give some response back to me or not. Okay, we can observe carefully. This is request what I submitted, and this is response what I got from the server side application. HDFC Bank application is nothing but web application now. That is available at server side application. Now this is web browser client. That is what web client sending request for the sake of getting amount, getting the balance in my account. It identified the some amount in the bank account. No, it will give some response back to the respective client. Now tell me, this is what web application or not? My total application, web component or web application is available at server side application or not? Browser is what? It is not Java program. Just it is a tool. It is a browser where no Java program is existed. Java program is existed at which side? No, only at server side. Am I right or not? This is server side program. Now this is what there? No, local machine. That means client application there. No. Is it not web application up to now? Is a web part or not? Up to now. Okay, good. Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. My requirement is I have an account at HDFC Bank. Okay. My friend has an account at ICICI Bank. One of my friend is existed now. So he has an account at ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank is also be a server side application. That means server side application or not? Bank application is also like what? No, ICICI Bank application. ICICI application is also be server side application or not? Okay, observe carefully. Now here what I am telling there, to handle all the user requests, one component is required. Here we can say this component is web component. In ICICI server side application, web component is required. And now what my friend wants to do there, my friend wants to check his balance amount. My friend wants to check his balance amount. Am I right or not? All right, sir. Observe carefully. Now my friend is existed here. Here my friend is existed. He wants to check his balance amount in his account. Now tell me here. This is also be a browser. This is also like what there? A browser. Browser is nothing but what there? Client. Okay. This is also be a browser. Now, if he wants to check some balance amount, then what he has to do there? First, he has to send request to the ICICI bank application. That is, web component will take the will receive that request or not. Then web component will check the amount status of his account there. He'll give some reply to the respective browser. Okay. Now this is like what I'm telling there. This is request, and this is what they know response. So carefully observe this point now. All right. Both are individual accounts and individual banks. Both the users trying to get some data by sending requests to the respective banks, getting some information. That's okay. Up to now, no confusion. It's very clear. But now I have a separate requirement. What is my requirement now? Observe carefully. My requirement is what? I want to transfer some amount of money from my account to my friend account. I want to transfer some amount of money from my account to my friend account. From HDFC bank application to ICICI bank application. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Now, for a moment, I am telling to you. For a moment, understand this. This HDFC bank application was prepared by using Java. Of course, ICICI bank application is also prepared by using what? Java. Server-side application, definitely some Java code is required. Server-side technology is required. Later on, we'll understand different technologies or same technology. But first of all, Java. Take this example. Now tell me, all of you now tell me, I want to transfer 10,000 amount from my account to my friend account. First of all, from the browser, myself has to send a request to the HDFC bank application or not. Transfer 10,000 to my friend account where I've given already account details. Now this web component is responsible for giving response to the user only. Web component is not responsible, is not having capability to communicate with the other server-side application. Am I right or not? So to communicate with the other server-side application, here we need to prepare another component. In this web application, we need to prepare what now? Another component. This is, we can understand, maybe distributed component. Distributed component, of course, any component, EJB component, or maybe some other, that doesn't matter. Any component here we have used it. Some other component, maybe a simple Java bin component, whatever it may be. Some component here we have used it. This component is meant for what purpose there? Just communicating with the other Java application. That's not available in the same mission, not available in the same server-side application. That would be available at which one they know? Some other application can know. Okay, fine. Now here also, then what next one here? ICICI application also, this web component is responsible for giving some response to the respective user only. It is not having capability to receive requests from other server-side application, not having capability to send response to the respective server-side application. But to receive the request and to process that request, to give the response to the some other Java application, again here we require distributed component or not? Come on guys, we have to answer for me question now. Here we required one distributed component is required or not? So again here what we required here, one distributed component is required. That we provided now. Yes, all of you are getting my point or not? Now observe carefully what I'm telling you know. My requirement is what? I want to transfer 10,000 amount from my account to my friend account. I will send a request for transferring 10,000. This is a request. Now web component of this HDFC application is taking that request now. Now what it is doing there, to perform this transfer transaction, it has to talk with ICICI bank or not, ICICI bank application or not. So web component is not capable for that. Simply it will communicate with what? Distributed component which is available already in HDFC bank application. It will communicate with what? Distributed application. Now this distributed component will interact with the distributed component of this ICICI application. It will perform the required business logic, amount to transfer business logic. It will be completed. Okay, here see, transferring some amount in the sense here, like a debit operation has to be performed at a sender, at receiver side credit operation has to be performed. Credit operation is confirmed here. When a credit operation is confirmed, then this distributed component has to send some response back to some acknowledgement back to distributed component in HDFC application or not. It has to give some acknowledgement back to the HDFC application or not. Now HDFC application distributed component will receive that response now, but that must be given to the web component or not. That must be given to the web component or not. Now web component has to submit some response back to the respective client or not. Now client is able to see the message like what there, transaction successful, transaction success. Understand, all of you guys? Okay, now here, in this case, what exactly the point here I'm telling to you. Okay, after completion of this particular one, my friend, I'll make a call to my friend, no, I transferred already 10,000 to you, try to check your account balance. Then what he will do, he will send a request to the web component which is there in ICICI Bank application. He will check the status. If the status is okay, if he able to identify that credit operation is complete or not, then response will be given back to the respective browser. Now here, I'm asking one question to you clearly. All of you observe carefully. In this scenario, in this total scenario, up to this part, again, up to this part, that means browser interaction with the web component inside the application, browser interaction with the web component inside the server side application is a web application or not? This part is exactly like what now? Web application or not? Guys, observe carefully. This part is exactly web application or? Please respond, everybody. All right, sir. This is web application. Perfectly, this is web application. Now, similarly, observe carefully. Web applications are dealing with customers directly or not? Web applications are dealing with the customers directly or not? Okay, fine. Now, observe carefully. Similarly, here, what I am telling to you here in this case now. In this case now, distributed component in HDFC application and a distributed component in ICICI application. Now, this communication and getting some services from ICICI application to the HDFC application, this part is exactly called as like what they know, distributed application or not. That means instead of saying that application, distributed communication or not. Distributed communication is exist or not. First communication is available, then after that some information is exchanged from one machine to another machine or not. This is a distributed application or not. Distributed communication or distributed application or not. Observe carefully. Now tell me, if you want to say HDFC application is an enterprise application where both web component and distributed component both are provided in a combined fashion or not? You have to recognize my point here. Here, if you want to say HDFC application is an enterprise application, in enterprise application is an enterprise application where both web and distributed both environments are integrated or not, then only that application is an enterprise application. Next, similarly, here also might be we required what there in the case of this ICS application also some communication is required between like what there between distributed component and web components depending on requirement. If you want to do the same thing from ICICI Bank to HDFC Bank application, now I'm transferring some amount from HDFC Bank to ICICI Bank. But if I want to transfer some amount from ICICI Bank to HDFC Bank, same process is reversely applied or not? There also be communication between distributed component and web components are required or not? Now here also, if you want to say that ICICI Bank application is an enterprise application where both web and distributed components combined fashion we required or not? That's why here, what is the point here I'm telling to you clearly? Now, enterprise application is equal to web application and distributed application as a combination. Enterprise application and distributed application is a combination. Observe carefully. Now, if we think one simple analysis I'm telling to you, observe carefully. All of you guys, observe carefully. Right, sir. Observe carefully what I'm telling to you. This HDFC application has some distributed component. ICICI Bank application has another distributed component. Fine. For example, HDFC Bank application is prepared with Java. ICICI, see, first of all, both are two different websites. Both are provided to different vendors. Do you have any guarantee the same Java is used to prepare both the applications? No. Any guarantee you are having? That HDFC people might be using Java, ICICI people might be using some .NET. Who knows about it? Maybe they are using Python. Who knows about it? There is no guarantee the same technology is used in both the cases now. That both the server-side applications might be prepared by using two different server-side applications or not. Okay, both are Java, no problem, no issues up to that. We can use socket programming, or we can use EJBs, or we can use RMI. Okay, no issues for that. But unfortunately, both the technologies are not same. For example, for HDFS application, we are using Java. But for ICIS application, if you might be use some .NET, for example, ICIS application, we are going to prepare by using what their .NET, for example. Then how can we establish communication between these two? How can we access the .NET application from Java application there? Exactly, in this particular situation, to have communication between two different technology applications, to provide communication between two different technology applications, there we are going to use a separate technology, a separate distributed technology. That the distributed technology is called as like what? No, web services. Not more than that. A separate technology we are going to use, the separate technology standard we have to use to like prepare to establish communication between like Java application and .NET application, or Java application to some other application. Two different technology standards, two different technology applications. If you want to communicate each other, there we have to go for like what now? Web services. Web services is a distributed technology or not? Now the distributed technologies are putting more concentration on how to establish communication between local machine and local application and remote application or not. If both are in Java, it's okay, no problem, simple communication. Both are in two different technologies. There we have to go for how to establish communication between two technology applications, how to consume other technology application services in present Java applications now. The total thinking is required or not? That where web services is addressing our problem, web services is able to establish communication between two technology standards applications. If both are same, socket programming, EJBs and RMI, it's okay, worked out. If both are two different technologies, no, where Corba and web services are the two solutions. But Corba is somewhat outdated, not required, but EJB web services is like number one. It is giving very good support for establish the communication between like to establish the communication between two technology related applications. That's it, guys. Now this is the total enterprise application development, how we are able to prepare this. Finally, the point is what? To prepare an enterprise application, we required web components and as well as like what now? Distributed components. With that only we are able to prepare a complete enterprise application. Yes, sir. Right, sir. Means we can use distributed applications in banking sector and money. No, not like that. Not like that. In so many areas, we are able to use distributed technologies. So wherever we want to provide direct response to the customer, direct response to the client, that means to the browser, where we want to display some data to the browser, where web application is required. Where application to application communication, if you want to get, if you want to talk with some application to get some data there we are going to use like what they know, distributed technologies. Simple point. Where you want to provide response to the browser, web application. Where you want to get some response from other application, not to the browser. You are providing some response to some other application, not to the browser. There what we required here, distributed application is required. See, here the point is your understanding is very, very important. If you understand the context, then it is very simple to understand our technologies in the future. Without knowing this much of differences between web application and distributed application, preparing applications by using IDEs is totally different. So for example, I want to tell you, understand my point here. I have one website, guys. Say for example, enadu.com. One website is available, some newspaper. enadu.com, one website is available. Okay. This website is getting some weather report or not? From where it is getting weather report? No, think of it. This enadu.com is providing today's weather report at Hyderabad. At the same time, it is providing weather report from US also. How it is getting that weather report? No, are these enadu people are went to USA and they are checking that weather and everything? They are giving direct report to the website? No, don't think like that. Weather report, weather providers are available. Weather reports providers are available in the ground. Some third-party organizations are providing weather reports. This weather report and everything they are providing in the form of services. That enadu.com is consuming that service. Service providers are available. enadu.com is contact with that service providers. They are consuming their service to get that weather report. As per that, only we are getting that up to the dates, up to updations on like what no weather report. There now tell me which technology we are getting there, what we are understanding there, what we are getting there. Their only web environment is not sufficient. enadu.com will give weather report information to us. That is up to that web. But it is talking with some other application internally or not, which is there at USA or not. That to establish communication with that application, getting some data from that application, that is nothing but what no distributed environment. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? That's why, guys, so many examples are available. Not only this banking sector, in a number of sectors, we are able to get the details clearly. That's okay, fine. Now, this is somewhat information, we can understand it, no? Right, guys, and right, okay, fine. That's all for today, and tomorrow we'll discuss about it. And guys, and one more thing, yeah, for online people, I will clarify your doubt. Just wait 2 minutes of time. Wait 2 minutes of time. For online people, I'll give much clarity. One simple thing. Today you are coming to this class. You are attending this class. Independence Day, August 15th. But entire institute is a holiday. But anyway, I took this class, and you are attending for this class, no, right? So from my side, I want to give a small gift. What's that gift there? Not any other one. This spring class we started there. Spring materials are available. Actually, they are chargeable. Almost 450 to 500 rupees cost is going on. So today, I want to give that spring material to you with a free of cost. That will be the gift from my side. Okay. But anyway, then 5 materials are available. Then remaining 4 materials are in waiting stage now. Then within 10 to 15 minutes of time, they will come. So those who are hurry, we can collect that 4 or 5 materials. We can leave now. Remaining members have to stay here just 10 minutes of time. They will come and you can collect it. You can go there. Okay. Right. Anyway, you can take both. 2 materials are available. You can take it now. 2 more members, we can collect that material. And remaining members stay here. Within 10 minutes, that material will come. Remaining members. Only 4 materials are available. Just 4 members you can take. And only 4 materials are available at present. Take that. Okay. I think so. This is my copy. You can take it. And guys, and those who are in online, for online people, how to get those? You are providing any Google Drive link? Yes, guys. Don't worry. For online people, I will send a soft copy material to all of you guys. Don't worry. Today itself, I will send soft copy. Then try to utilize it. Yeah. As a soft copy, I will send to your mails. No, don't worry. Yeah. Today itself, we will get that material, soft copy material, and my material that was. You can collect it. Yeah, all the classes are recorded. Then recording classes will be provided to everybody, guys. Don't worry. And if fee details and everything, just please reach out to our office there, and you can get some clarity where we can collect, where we can get these details now. And better to send a request mail to Durga Soft online training @gmail.com, or else, and you can contact you 885-252627, where Bhavani is a person to you. Then she will take care about my classes. No, she will provide that every service what you are expecting from Durga Soft, and she will take responsibility for that. You can call to this number and you can ask her, and she will send that soft copy material to you. By default, in all the mails, those who registered for this course today, for all of them, you will receive a mail with the material. Don't worry for it. And the last date for this course is, and already demo classes are completed, and you can attend these classes daily. Then already we started our syllabus. Actual syllabus we started there. So no demo classes now onward. Then all the classes are available. So regarding this course of fees and everything, just we can talk with Bhavani, and she will provide more information to you. Okay. Then through the mail, you will send material, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Or else maybe then if you register there, all the videos will be provided through Google Drive. In that Google Drive, this material will be uploaded. You can collect it. Okay. Don't worry. Yo. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Same to you. Thank you. Guys, anything else apart from this material? And anyway, then either through mail or maybe in the Google Drive, or people will upload there. Then if you register, then you can get that one. No, as of now, it was not prepared. Maybe tomorrow class is there. Same link. Same link. Up to 1 or 2 days or 2 days of same link. Next one will go for like what there other link. Maybe tomorrow or day of tomorrow. Maybe if you are changing the link on tomorrow, then he'll send a mail to you with the link for the registered members. Then better to complete your registration process, guys. Thank you, Pratish. Thank you. Tomorrow class directly for those who pay fee, no? Maximum. Yeah, Ismat, Unisa, I will check. But you are sending that message. A lot of content is existed. I think so. Yeah, arrays and something else you are sending there. But I'm unable to read the total content even. Let me check once. Let me check today. Don't worry. Unisa, just let me check it. Guys, and maximum, tomorrow you will get a mail with the private link. Maximum, you will get a private link. Try to check with it. If it is not come up tomorrow, use the same link. Okay, I will check, Kunisa. I didn't check it, that mail. Only one time I have seen that, and again I will check it. Don't worry. And guys, and maybe tomorrow, if you are not getting any separate mail with the new link, no, then try to use the same link. Okay, but maximum tomorrow that link will be changed. Try to complete your registrations also, so that we'll get that materials and everything, every support. That videos link will get there directly. Okay. Nearly 850 plus pages of document is existed, guys. 850 pages of document is available. Yeah, PDF document. Yeah, that's my course material. I prepared that material exactly. Okay. Sorry, your name, please. Guys, and without knowing my name, you're attending today's session, right? This is Nagoor Babu. Yeah, fee related everything you can contact with Bhavani. And this is our now. Her number is available here. Or else we can send a mail to Durgasoft online training @gmail.com. Maybe concessions related and everything, just you can ask her and she will give reply for it. So I'm not responsible for fee and all these things. Just I'm responsible for teaching the content. That's it. Right? Are you getting my name there? Nagoor Babu, not Durga. I think so. I think some of you might be misunderstanding me. No, I'm not Durga. I'm Nagoor Babu. Right, guys? Anything else? Right. And guys, and total this framework spot. Total framework spot. It will take 4 to 5 months of time. 4 months minimum, guys. Hibernate, Springboot, microservice, and web services will take minimum 4 months of time. 4 to 5 months of time. And 2 sessions parallel I have to take. Already given some information to you at starting point of the class now. What I given there, timings and everything I given here. See this one. Yeah. 11:30 to 1, Springboot microservice, one by one I will take. After 1 month of time, I will start 10 to 11:30 also. There I will take Hibernate and web services. As per IST, I am telling them. These 2 things are confirmed. These 2 slots are confirmed there. Minimum 4 months of time, mandatory. Okay. Anything else? Prerequisites for this core Java and basics of advanced Java. Right. And please go through Durga's website where multiple numbers are available. More and more, multiple numbers are existed, guys. Okay, no, will not, no need to worry for it. All classes are reading recordings. All classes recordings will be provided up to 1 year or more than 1 year. Anyway, material also we are providing there. Don't worry. The soft copy will provide now. Multiple databases like MySQL, MongoDB, and H2, Oracle. Multiple IDs, Eclipse, STS, and IntelliJ IDEA. Course completion certificate and drives. So for freshers, we are providing drives also. Daily applications accessible and daily class notes I will share to you. Don't worry how to provide that notes. I will take it, and in the next class I will show how to share my documents and everything. I will share there. Don't worry. I prepared so many pens today. Let me save them. I'll share all these documents, guys. Don't worry. Okay. So that Pradnya, that was provided by webinar actually. Don't worry for it. No need to think too much about it. That is webinar. And core Java classes will start on 18, guys. 18th 10 o'clock. 18th 10 o'clock. The core Java class are going to be start. If required that, then you can attend for it. 18th 10 o'clock. 18th 10 a.m. Okay. Pradnya, that message is provided by webinar software, not by Durga Soft. Don't mind for it. Okay. But only one thing, if the class is if the class link is going to be changed there, for the registered members directly link will be provided through mail. Maybe if it is not changed there, the same link you can use. If you received mail, then you can use that link. If you are not getting that mail, and you can use the same link. Okay. Yeah, on 18th 10 a.m. demo class are available. Please attend for it. On 18th 10 a.m. demo class only. Okay. Yeah, I used to take the full stack Java, guys. Right from core Java up to web services, I'm taking the total full stack. I'm taking now nowadays. Yeah, sure. I can teach Java, total Python, total UI also. All content I'm able to teach. Right. Anything else, guys? Yeah, this 18th, 10th, 10 a.m. we are starting core Java. That there itself we are starting full stack Java. There itself full stack Java we are starting. Yeah, come to the class on 18th, no? So there full stack Java, part of the full stack Java will start core Java there. That will be the demo class for full stack and as well as core Java. Okay, fine. Thank you. Anything else, guys? That's all for today. And I'll see the remaining content tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll continue the remaining podcast. Thank you. Thanks a lot.